here.
Took a little bit of a trip on dying once, but I finally found a dripstone cave. I'm not sure how far I am from spawn though. Getting out of here is going to be the bigger problem. Alright, so today we're going to be building a automated mud farm. Well, not automated actually, none of it's automated, it's mostly manual, but it's semi-automatic I guess. But the mud farm is going to go onto a large drying area with dripstones beneath it, so that I can turn it into clay. And now I need to turn it into clay because of what the original idea of this video was going to be. Originally in this video I was going to build a mine shaft over here, like the whole shed and winding tower of the mine elevator. This is where I had marked it out, and I've got the plan for the build all designed and everything. Hello. But the build had a lot of bricks in it, and so in this episode, instead of building the mineshaft winding tower like I had intended to, we are going to be building a clay farm. Now, I am not that great with technical things, but I am getting better, and here's the schematic for it. I made this myself. I am going to hand over to past me, because I've already recorded the explanation of how this works, to explain how it works. And then past me can hand things back over, and we can build this. Thank you, future me, for handing things over. So, this is the design I've come up with for the clay farm. And it's going to help us build that thing over there. Now, it's based off of Ilmango clay farm, or mud machine, mud maker, mud farm, whatever. Essentially, this bit here turns dirt into mud, and then these pistons over here push them out onto what is going to be a bed of like some block with pointed dripstone under it to turn it from mud to clay. Where's the mud? There. And that's going to dry the mud out to clay. Yeah, no need to increase tick speed, it's already doing it. But the way this works is essentially grab a dirt block, place a dirt block on that piston. It turns the dirt block into a powered block because of the redstone torch beneath it. And then the repeaters power the piston and this block here, which powers this dispenser, which is filled with water bottles, which disperses water onto the dirt, turning it into mud. Now if we place a few more, you'll see when it reaches this torch here, it turns this mud block into a powered block, which then outputs a signal to this side, which then goes down here and powers this dispenser, which is filled with glass bottles, which dispenses a glass bottle into this water, filling it up into a water bottle, and then that comes down into this hopper here, which will then empty out into here. That's not supposed to happen. Why is there an empty glass bottle in here? I hope that was just left over from testing. Something's going on. Okay. I think I know what's going on. For some reason... Yeah, for some reason, this block here powering this dispenser has turned this hopper into a powered hopper, which prevents it and locks it, which locks it so that items can't come out of here. Not sure how I'm going to fix that. Just gonna... Alright. If it is an issue, it's such a negligible one that I don't think it'll really affect me in the long run. But yeah. Once this mud block here reaches the end here, as I said, turns the mud block into a powered mud block, which then outputs a redstone signal around it, which powers, in this case, just a normal redstone line, which is then repeated to power this whole thing, and all the pistons push leaving nothing there and room for here to go on a long more. Okay. But yes, the Ilmengo design was much more automated. They have a great clay farm as well idea, which is far more automated than this, and it connects with more of the interconnected dirt farm for like rooted dirt or something, and they can automate clay. And as you can tell, this building over here is made mostly out of bricks, and that is why we need this clay, because we're going to be using that design I came up with. Anyway, I will hand back over to future me now. Thank you, past me. So, while I do have a schematic of this, I'm not going to build it exactly to the schematic, because I want to leave room for building other things around it. For example, I want this entire thing to be enclosed in a building. But the reason why I got a schematic of this is because this is a little bit more technical than any of my other builds, because it requires like precise placement of redstone and stuff, and doing that from memory isn't the greatest idea. We've got a bunch of stuff here to get started, and I've already prepared this stuff earlier, but let us build this clay farm now. I've just realized I don't have a pickaxe. Because I broke my last pickaxe mining all of the redstone that I needed for this. And I've moved it all over here. Yes. I broke my last pickaxe mining all the redstone I needed for this, and so now I don't have one. I'm pretty sure I also used up all of my iron as well on this, so I can't even make iron pickaxe this time. I mean, I used an iron pickaxe to mine the redstone. I got some gold and diamonds as well, but not a lot of that. Really, all I was after was the redstone. There we are. Alright, that should be done. The only thing we need now is the sheer number of water bottles, but not water bottles yet, we still need just normal bottles. We need a lot of normal bottles, just empty bottles, to fill up this lower part here. And I've already started tearing down that island. I don't really want to tear it down any further because I still kind of like it there. But I think maybe we can tear it down a little bit more and get away with it. But we're going to need to find somewhere that we can get a lot of sand. But in order to do that, we're going to need a shovel or two. Multiple shovels, actually. We're going to need multiple shovels. Been doing some reorganizing of my chests. The deep slate bricks and the deep slate, they are for the mine shaft that we're going to be making. They're going to be for the roof tiles, because I needed those, and the deep slate as well is just a happy little byproduct of mining for the not the deep slate, the redstone. That's it. That's the word I'm looking for. Now I've got iron in one of these. There we are. That'll be in there. Gonna need sticks. Like, it's my own system. You'd think I'd remember where the sticks are. I don't know where I got enough for pickaxes. Maybe I'm more used to building pickaxes. Alright, let's mine this down a little bit more. I'm not really going to do a time lapse because there's some channel stuff I want to discuss. And that is sort of like kind of why I've decided to go for the bi-weekly upload. And that's just kind of because I don't really feel like uploading every week, and also the bi-weekly schedule allows me to do more fun stuff, but aside from that, it does mean that the deadlines are further apart, and so more time for me to procrastinate, which isn't the best, but gonna procrastinate anyway. I'm not really intending on these videos to like take off or anything. I don't really want to be like big YouTube, but I want to more prove to myself that I can be consistent and actually like make something consistently and do consistent work. And I've been playing a lot of other games this week, and that's not working on this. I have been enjoying myself. I haven't been playing Subnautica 2 though, because I'm broke and I can't afford it right now. I might be able to afford it soon, but not yet. Working towards that. But you can probably expect a first impressions video on that, or not. Actually, you know what, it's better to not expect anything, so you'll be surprised when I do, well, not when, if I do actually do one, because I'm, like I said, I struggle with consistency and following through on things that I say I'm gonna do. And this is kind of just like my way of proving myself wrong, I guess, that I can actually follow through with what I want to do. Still don't have enough sand. I'm going to dig down that area over there a little bit. But yeah, one thing I've been struggling with though is because I don't want to like record everything I do on this world, because I still want to like just play off camera a bit on this world. But like, while preparing for this build, there was a lot of like, do I record this or don't I record this? Like the mining for redstone thing. I figured that like, no one really wants to watch someone go mining, especially if they don't have anything to fill the blank space while mining, I guess. Which like, I don't, like, the fact I'm talking about this stuff now is honestly abnormal anyway, because I mostly play video games in silence anyway. But yeah, there's probably going to be a lot of cuts in this video. But not in this video, just in this part here, because I found out that DaVinci actually has a method of cutting out sections of video that don't have any like audio in them. So, for example, dead space while recording audio, recording, talking, that kind of stuff. And I used that in the last video during the time lapses when I was talking about like my plans for the future of the channel. And I really liked it because it's just simply a noise threshold. Like you would find with like a mic, like in OBS, they've got like a noise threshold filter where you can set it so that there's only incoming audio, or it's only recording audio if the audio is above a certain level, which means that there's no AI or anything. Well, technically there is AI involved, because determining like the basic form of AI is just a couple of if statements, and that's pretty much what something like that is, just a couple of if statements, like if audio is above this level, keep it, if it's not, cut it out. Which is what I hate about AI, is because it's just a marketing term now, and most people, when they think of AI, they'll immediately think of like generative AI, and I don't like generative AI. Alright, so I was going to show off the thing before, but then it started raining, and so I went and made myself some chalky milk and came back and it stopped. But I cycled the thing through, so now there are water bottles in here, and I need dirt. I should have grabbed dirt before recording. Alright, now that I've got dirt, let's see how this thing works in all its glory. Actually, this is how I had to set up before, so I could just hold down it's doing good. Alright, So, this section here is full now. Sorry, I'm still sick. Okay, this section here is full now. What's gonna happen next is, because I would still like some mud, I'm gonna take my pointed dripstone. This might take a little bit. There we go. Oh, wrong button. But now I have a fully, well, I don't want to say renewable because technically I don't think dirt is renewable. Oh, it might be. But I now have a fully renewable source of clay and mud. And that should be very good for any future builds. In the next episode, we are either going to build up the mineshaft over there, which you got a glimpse of in the test world, or the build world, or whatever I'm going to call it. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet. Or we're going to build a housing for this machine, so it does not look so bad. Doesn't look like as much of an eyesore, and we're going to make the housing out of the mud blocks. More specifically, the packed mud. Is why I would love some space there. But that is going to be it for this episode, so I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.